All right, welcome
Almighty
once more
Father,
back again.
you have that treat me good.
LM for them right here,
Treat me like a son.
your host.
And you say you will never leave me comfortless.
So I'm gonna be starting soon,
You say you never leave me.
and this session is Trusting God, where I'm gonna have a part 2 session for talking about trusting God. So stay tuned, invite a friend, follow, and share your comments. Love you guys. Boom.
The way you care and you watch over me. Watch over me. Watch over me, you damn me ask. Me no want to end up moving too fast. Watch over me. Guide me on my daily task. Me want to do better than me did in the past. So me, now you no mask. Now pretend like me cool when me last. Watch over me. Guide me on your green grass. You never treat I like no outcast. You say you never leave I lonely.
Yeah, man.
Lord, you are the best, yes, I know that you're there for me.
Watch over me,
Thank you, Lord, you watch over me daily. Watch over me, watch over me. I love the way you care and you watch over me. Watch over me, watch. You know the valley well, me know you're really daring. And through your nice love, you keep me persevering.
All right, they said stop the tune. So I am about to get started in a few, but I'm gonna run this song again. So this song is from my latest album, Salvation. You can get it in iTunes, Amazon, all those platforms up there. You can find the song. Just type LM Fidem Salvation, and you will find a new album out there. So I'm gonna run this song from the top again. It's called "Watch Over Me" from my latest album, Salvation. Yes, your one and only LM Fidem. So stay tuned. We will have some more tunes coming. Enjoy this one once more, right?
In all my storm,
We up.
it's me again. LM for them. Oh, Jesus Christ. Almighty Father, you have to treat me good. You have to treat me
All
like
right,
a son.
so
And you
who
say you
shared the
never
link?
leave me
Share the link. Let them know I'm live.
Promise that.
All right.
You say you never leave me lonely. Watch over me, watch over. Lord, you are the best, yes, I know that you're there for me. Watch over me, watch over. Thank you, Lord, you watch over me daily. Watch over me, watch over. I love the way you care and you watch over me. Watch over me, watch over me, you damn me ask. Me no want to end up moving too fast. Watch over me. Guide me on my daily task. Me want to do better than me did in the past. So me, now you no mask. Now pretend like me cool when me last. Watch over me. Guide me on your green grass. You never treat I like no outcast. You say you never leave me lonely. Lord, you are the best, yes, I know that you're there for me. Thank you, Lord, you watch over me daily. Watch over me, watch over. I love the way you care and you watch over me. Watch over me, watch. You know the valley well, me know you're really daring. And through your nice love, you keep me persevering. In all my storm, are you are really clearing? It's not by sight, so me let you do this daring. Sweet and caring, you always bearing. You teach me to live.
All right, yes. So this one name is "Watch Over Me" from my latest album, Salvation. Yes, I. So this session is all gonna be about trusting God, part 2. So enjoy the music. I'm getting ready to start. Get your questions ready and your ears ready for sure. Boom.
Thank you, Lord, you watch over me daily. Watch over me, watch over. I love the way you care and you watch over me. Watch over me, watch. You watch your children, cause you are build them, and you are fill them, and up till them. Are you that sow them? Are you that grow them? Are you that know them? So you are show them. So do your will then, that's not for kill them. The little children, not for them or kill them. You never grieve them, you just a feed them. You say you never leave them. You say you never leave me lonely. Watch over me, watch over. Now you want to best, yes, I know that you're
Stand and live righteously. Tell them you are trusting Jack.
So this one named Trusting Jah, and this is gonna nail the topic before I start, because today is all about trusting God, the second session. So listen to this one from a new album, Salvation.
Maybe struggling, but me nah go do what's wrong. That's why me keep keep a smile and do what's really good. So say me humbling myself under the hands of Jah. Well, that's why me stand in the place me do.
Well, I just can't believe what I'm hearing.
So yes, one more time.
When you're struggling and the people them attempting to do wrong, tell them no, you are refused. You stand and live for righteousness. Tell them you are trusting Jah. Cause him alone, the king who shed his blood on the cross, is upholding our integrity. So keep trusting Jah in obedience. Yeah man. Me nah do wrong.
Maybe struggling, but me nah go do what's wrong. That's why me keep a smile and do what's really good. So say me humbling myself under the hands of Jah. Well, that's why me stand in the place me did a stood. Say me trust and believe what Jah has told me. Me know my situation is really understood. Me tell him I am trusting. Sometime under my fault. Me refuse to be bought. Me choose to go the right way. But Jah know this thing that is going through my thought. When things goes beyond my thinking, and I am tempted to take that wrong path. Jah know and I know it ain't easy to walk with a broken heart. Maybe struggling, but me nah go do what's wrong.
You know, sometimes you're struggling in life and you choose to do what's right, and people maybe think you're crazy, but you gotta keep trusting Jah and do what's right and trust and believe, alright? Yes, sir. Here we go.
I am trusting. Me know the pressure want to kill me. But to it all you are build me. I trust your hand to fill me. I trust in you to chill me. I came a long way on this road, well, I travel a distance on this boat. To the experience, you da give me hope, well, and of your kindness I'm taking. Maybe struggling, but me nah go do what's wrong. That's why me keep a smile and do what's really good. So say me humbling myself under the hands of Jah. Well, that's why me stand in the place me did a stood. Say me trust and believe what Jah has told me.
All right. So we're gonna take it down low. Hope you guys enjoyed the song. Once again, you know, you can get it on iTunes, on Amazon, and you know, a lot of sites that spread the music out there, you know. So and plus, you know, you can get it from me. So if you want to get the album, just drop me a comment, hook me up in the chat, you know, get in contact with me, and I'll be happy to bless you with the album. You know, you might be the lucky one to get an album for free. All right. So so the topic of the hour is trusting God. All right, trusting God. So in the first session I did, that was I think on Sunday, I spoke about trusting God, how it's very important to know the God you're trusting. So this is just a recap. You got to know the God you're trusting, and to be able to trust someone, you have to build up a good relationship that you know the person very well, that you can trust. It's the same like as you are in a relationship, for those who are married or those who engage or those who dating or those in any relationship. You know, to get to know someone, even if you're working, you know, you're working with colleagues and so forth, for you to get to learn to trust people, it asks of you to invest time in that relationship. What do I mean by that? I mean, the more you get to know someone better, the more you can trust them and you can rely on them for certain things. Let me explain what I mean. For example, if you have a good chair, you trust your chair to be stable enough to sit on it, all right? So you can rely on that chair to sit on. So that's how trustworthy your chair is. Now, if you're going to jump off of let's say, off a table, you're not going to expect to have a soft landing on a chair if you jump from a table and land on the chair. No, you're going to expect to have a soft landing if you put something like a trampoline or a bed. So you build that relationship with your chair, that you know your chair is able to you can rely on your chair for certain things, but not everything, right? So you need to have the right things in place to have the trust. For depends on what you want to do. Now, I know someone that I can trust for in all things. I can trust him in when I need advice, when I need direction, when I need, you know, counseling, when I need comfort, when I need, you know, to see the light. I can trust on God. I can trust in God, you know, because God is there. So that's where I put my trust. So this session is called Trusting in God. Now, I read from the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5 to 7 the last time, and I'm going to read it because I stopped on the last verse from where I want to continue. So, verse, again, for those of you who don't have a Bible, go and Google. You can pull this up. So, you type Proverbs, chapter 3, then you put 5 and dash 7. You will get Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5 to 7. And I'm reading from the King James Version, all right? Now, it goes like this. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Be not wise in thine own eyes, fear the Lord, and depart from evil. Now I went to these verses, and if you want to get a recap, go on my YouTube page. You will find the last live, and you can get the full breakdown that I give. And I stopped on the last part, which says, be not wise in your own eyes. Sometimes you think you know everything, but you don't. Sometimes you think you see everything, but you don't. Because your eyes, your mindset, your focus can just capture a certain limitation of this reality. So that's why the Bible said, don't be wise in your own eyes. What you see can also deceive you, can be a deception. You can think or believe that you saw something when it actually was not what your brain perceived to have seen. And you can see that with many optic illusion that's out there nowadays. It tricks us to believe something that is not when you look at 3D stuff and so forth. All right. So that's why the Bible, God says, no, don't be wise in your own eyes, because you don't know everything. I don't know everything. All right. And then it says, fear the Lord. So I spoke about fearing the Lord. Fear the Lord basically means to respect him, respect him for who he is. When you build that relationship with him, you learn to fear him. You learn to respect him. The Bible says, if you want to be afraid of someone, now I'm talking about being afraid. I'm not talking about fear now. The Bible says, if you want to be afraid of someone, be afraid of God, who can cast your soul and your body in hell. That was the advice of Jesus. If you really want to be afraid of someone, be afraid of God, who can cast your soul and your body in hell. And Jesus was saying this so that you don't be afraid of men. That was the message. Jesus was saying, don't be afraid of men, because at the end of the day, all man has to answer to God. So if you want to be afraid of someone, be afraid of God. All right? Now, I'm talking about fearing the Lord. Now, when you fear the Lord, it talks about respect God. Don't be wise in your eyes. Respect his word. Listen to what he has to say. That's how you fear him, reverence him. And that's why the Bible said the fear of the Lord is the beginning of what? Wisdom. The more you fear him, the more you can shut your own ego off. You shut your pride off. And you could just, let me put myself aside, stop what I'm doing, and listen. That's what it's talking about, fearing. Sometimes we are too quick to reply, too quick to move. What I love, in the Bible it says, when you enter a temple, or you enter nowadays the church, or you enter whatever, a conversation, it says, be quick to listen and slow to speak. That's the advice. Be quick to listen and be slow to speak. The tongue wants to speak so many things, and the ears, sometimes we don't give it time to listen. That's why we have 2 ears and 1 tongue. Imagine we had 2 tongues. It would be a blah, 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 That's why we have 2 ears and 1 tongue, so we can hear it twice and say it once. God just needs to say one thing, but we need to hear it 2 times. So you have 1 ear telling you this, and the other ear telling you that, to confirm. You see? So you have 2 ears that agree on one thing. All right? I'm not going to go too deep in that one, but I'll let you think about that one and digest it. So, and I stopped the last session on depart from evil. Now, that's the last advice in this verse. What does it mean to depart from evil? Now, I see we have a couple of people in the chat. Blessing Tyra, Blessing Gaming. Well, yeah, someone watched chicken nuggets, but this is not no chicken nuggets or whatever. This is about fearing God. So, we speak about godly stuff here. All right, so bless up to everyone in the chat. Do drop your comments. Let me know where you're from. Let me know where you're from, where you listen, how old you are, and so forth. But welcome. Everyone is welcome. So I'm happy you joined. So be blessed. So The topic I'm talking about is trusting God, and this last point I'm talking about what it is to depart from evil. What does that mean, depart from evil? Now, depart from evil. First of all, you have to define what is evil, and when you understand what is evil, what is good, then you can depart from evil. But if you don't make the distinction between good and evil, how do you know to depart? You might depart and don't even know where you're going and just fall into a different form of evil. So that's why it's important to depart from evil. But what is evil? Now, evil are the thing that God defines as evil. Simple as that. If God says it's evil, it's evil. Doesn't matter how I think, how I see it, how I view it. If God says it's evil, if the Bible states that it's evil according to what God said, it is evil. And that's where it comes back. Be not wise in your own eyes. All right? So, departing from evil, we have to understand, what does God mean by that? What is the message behind of this word, depart from evil? Now, we know when we do wrong, we call it wickedness, we call it evil, we know what is evil desires. We know what it is to want to hurt, to do wrong. Those are evil desires you need to depart from. So you have what you call evil desires, evil emotions, evil habits, bad habits that you have to put apart. So these stuff you need to work on. And of course, it takes time. So I don't want you to condemn yourself and think that you're evil. No. You have habits that you need to work on. But now, departing from evil, there's a next side to it where you can have a good heart or an evil heart. You can have a heart that wants to do good. You try with all your strength to do good. Sometimes you mess up, but your value, your core is to do good. And that's what God is there to help you. But for those who their heart are so dark, they only get up every day and think evil, to hurt people, how they can scam people, how they can do evil. Now that's an evil God hate. Yeah, you see what I mean? That's a diff. Now you really have to change your heart, renew your mind, and that's why Jesus comes and say, repent, turn from your wicked ways. That's what the message is saying. Turn from your wicked ways. Depart from evil. You see, because you can't want to trust in God, have that relationship with God, but as soon as something happens, you run to do evil. Run to do wickedness. You run to do sorcery and you don't even know. I'll give you some example. There are people that they believe in God to a certain extent. They trust God to a certain extent. When someone do them wrong, immediately, oh, you know what? I'm going to get you back. Karma, they say. They will probably go read a book, how to cast spells or something, and that's evil. Sorcery, that is evil. Whatever you do to try to hurt someone, manipulate someone, that is wickedness. That is evil. Yes, it's maybe a hard message for you, but that is evil. Your heart needs to be pure. You need to learn to forgive, love, move on. All right? There's a next level of evil where people run to evil spirits, to evil works. I spoke about witchcraft, but there's people who are mingling with evil spirits. Now that's what the Bible says. Depart from evil. You cannot serve two masters. You will love one and hate the other. So you have to choose. Are you going to walk in righteousness, or are you going to continue following evil? You have to make your mind up. Don't fool yourself. You can't fool God. You only could fool yourself. And you can't fool the devil. You only could fool yourself. The Bible says a double-minded man gets nowhere, gets nothing. A double-minded man is like the wave of the sea that keeps going back and forward. He only has movement, but he's going nowhere. He's not accomplishing anything. Jesus said, what he hates is someone that's lukewarm. He will spit you out. You know what lukewarm means? That you're hot and cold at the same time. That's a disgusting flavor or taste for God. He'd rather you to be cold or hot, because that way he know where you stand and you're being honest. It's better to be honest with where you want to stand and where you are, and ask for help if you want to change. But I'm going to speak a word. If you're going to be a hypocrite, if you're going to pretend to be as a sheep, but deep in your heart you're a wolf, well, I think you know what I'm going to say. That is evil. You cannot. That is even going far beyond, because you know what's right, yet you portray an image that you're good, but you're doing evil. You need to depart from evil. I'm speaking to you. Yes, because God doesn't like evil. So you have to depart from evil. You cannot want to trust God, have all this is blessing, and still expect to walk in evil. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. You see, there's a kind of evil that the world uses, and only those with open eyes can understand and can see it. There's a certain evil that even in the Bible it's described. A lot of people will come and say that, they are Christian, they believe in God. But that doesn't mean anything. The Bible says you will know them by their fruit. All right? A good tree will give good fruit. Good water, good spring will give good water. So you can profess to be whatever you want, but we will know you by your fruits, by your action, by your intentions, by the work you do, by the big picture. A good intention, a good deed doesn't mean you're good. What is your intention? God sees the intention of your heart. All right? So depart from evil. That's my message. That's the next level. You need to depart from evil. There's an instruction. How do you depart from evil? How do you distinguish evil? If you go to the book of Psalms chapter 1, one of my favorite scriptures as well, Psalm chapter 1, the first chapter, read the entire chapter, Psalms 1. That's a powerful scripture. I'm going to read it for you. Again, if you don't have it, just Google it. You all have phone, you all have tablets, you're on TikTok, you have the technology. Don't be lazy. You can Google it, Psalms 1, write it down, chapter 1, and read it later. All right, I'm going to read it for you. Now, this is talking about how you can distinguish, how you can depart from evil, what you should do. Psalms 1, it says this. Now, this Psalms 1, they call it the way of the righteous and the end of the ungodly. You see? The way of the righteous and the end of the ungodly. They made a distinction between the good and the evil. So it says, blessed is the man who walk in the counsel. Sorry, let me read that again. Blessed is the man who walk not in the counsel of the ungodly. So that's one. You do not walk in the counsel of the ungodly. What does that mean? You do not take advice from wicked men, from ungodly men, from people who their fruits are bad. They advise you to do wicked. You do not take their counsel. You do not listen to their advice. That's the number one rule. Then it says, nor stands in the path of sinners. Nor stands in the path of sinners. That means you don't stand in their way, which means you don't fellowship with them. You don't sit with them. You don't walk in their ways. That's what the Bible talks about, the narrow road and the broad road. All right? Number one, you don't listen to their counsels, and you don't hang with them. You don't hang with the bee. They say when you hang, you want to know who you are, watch with who you're hanging with. All right? If you lay with dogs, they say you wake up with fleas. So you cannot as well spend time. I'm not saying you can't talk to people, but you cannot enjoy hanging with wicked people. All right? The next step, it says, nor sit in the seat of the scornful. So you do not rest. Now that's rest, that's sitting, that's relaxing. So you're not listening. You maybe not listen to their advice. You don't walk with them, but you like to chill with them. You like to listen, just chill, drink with them, and you don't mind smoking a bit. You don't mind. No, you cannot sit in the seat of the scornful. As well as they're mocking God. They're mocking your faith. They're mocking what you believe, and you're gonna sit and laugh. No, you cannot. This is not my instruction. I'm stating it as how the Bible, how God stated. All right. If you're angry, you're upset, speak to God about it. All right. That's His definition of evil. So you cannot sit with the scornful. But here's the instruction for you to be on the right side, for you to know that you are departing from evil, you need to do this. But his delight is in the law of the Lord. His delight is in the law of the Lord. Do you know what's God's laws? What is the laws of God? It says here, you're happy to enjoy reading, spending time understanding the laws of the Lord. What is the law? Now, most people know the Ten Commandments, but it goes beyond that. Yes, have no other God but God. That's the first, Love God with all your heart, honor your parents, keep the Sabbath day holy, thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not covet what your neighbor has, thou shalt not commit adultery, and the list goes on. Maybe I forget one or two here. But the Bible said these laws are written in your heart. So I can recite them, but you know them. You know them in your heart because you feel when you do wrong. All right? But yet, there's a law that Jesus said love as well. You spend time loving what God loves and hating what he hates. So it goes beyond. It goes more than just knowing the Ten Commandments. You spend time in his law. You spend time understanding what he likes, what he doesn't like. You spend time in his law, in his way of doing things. If God is a king, he has a kingdom, he has a culture, he has a way of doing things. So we should know, what does he like, what does he don't like, what does his kingdom consider is good, and what does his kingdom consider is bad. We live in the world where the world says it's good to do this, it's good to do that, it's bad, and it's in a season where they're twisting the words. Now it's like good is evil and evil is good. So I'll give you an example. If I say what I think about certain things, I could be viewed as a bad person because I do not agree according to their law. Right? There's many stories. So I understand that's their law, but I abide by a higher law, which is God's law. So you need to spend time studying what is the law of God. What does he love? What does he hate? What does he say to do and not to do? And not only know, but understand why, when, where. These are important stuff. I won't go too deep in that. Now, if you read further, it says, and his law he meditate day and night. So even going to explain you, when do you spend time in the law? Day and night. And that's it right there. Clear instructions. You do it day and night. You do it when you wake up. You spend time. You think about it going through the day. And when you go to sleep at night time, it's dark, you spend time. It's not just a Sunday thing for those who like to go to church on a Sunday. It's an everyday, every second thing. All right? All right. The next step, it says, and when you do all of this, it says, he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that brings forth its fruit in its season, whose leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he does shall prosper. You see, this is a promise why you can trust God. Because the moment you separate yourself, you depart from evil, and you trust God's word, you spend time, it says that you will be like a tree. A tree is something strong. A tree is something lively. A tree is something that brings forth life, fruit. That I love to be in the forest. I love to be in the nature. A tree is energy. But it doesn't just say a tree. It says a tree that is full of life. So you're not a dead tree. You'll be a tree that's lively, and you'll be planted by the source, that river that keeps the tree growing. You know what's that river? That river is God himself. You trust in the name. You plant yourself close to God because you trust him. He will be that river nourishing you through all your situation, that you will always be like a tree standing. And it says, it goes further. You won't only be standing, but you will bring forth your fruit in its season, which means you will be prosperous, successful. You will have riches. You will have blessings. You will have multiplying of knowledge of life more abundantly flowing through you. People will see that joy, that beautiful, that health in you. They will see it, And then it says, whose leaf also shall not wither, which means you won't lose branches. You won't have lost in your life. When autumn comes, you see those trees, the leaves falling. That's what I'm saying. Even though the season are changing around you, because you trust in God, you will always be fruitful and you will never lose a leaf. So you don't focus on what's happening around you. You say, keep your trust on God, and He will sustain you and keep you beautifully and wonderfully through your season, through your lifetime. This is a promise from God. But you gotta do your part. Depart from evil. Meditate in the law day and night. That's your duty. That's your part. You do your part, God will do the rest. And it says, not only that, but whatsoever He does shall prosper. So whatsoever you do, you will prosper. Because you meditated on the law. You know what God like. God gives you wisdom. God gives you knowledge. God gives you inspirations to start new business, new stuff, to do this, to say this. And because of you are following now His instruction, His law of what is good and bad, whatever you do, because you're in His zone, in the zone with God, connected to the river, everything you do prosper. Nothing fail. Everything. It doesn't say some of the things you're gonna do. It says whatsoever you do will prosper. Imagine that. You just pick up a drawing, you draw it, and then it becomes famous, and then it prosper, and then you know, simple stuff. So set up yourself. Trust in God. Set up yourself. Depart from evil. And see your life bloom. See your life change. You probably don't like the situation you're in right now, but I'm telling you, if you keep trusting in God, if you keep holding on, if you keep resisting the devil, you know, like James 4, chapter 4, verse 7 says, submit yourself to God, resist the devil, he would flee. Get yourself grounded in the laws of God. Spend time with Him day and night. You will be so successful. But then it gives a warning. If you read this chapter more, it gives the next warning. It says, the ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind drives away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knows the ways of the righteous, but the ways of the ungodly shall perish. I'll wrap this up quickly for you guys. The ungodly shall not stand in judgment. What does that mean? Means when the pressure comes and the heat comes, because they are not grounded, rooted by the river, they don't have substance, they don't have the truth of God. When pressure arises, when the judgment comes, judgment is not a bad thing. Let me just make that clear. When the judgment comes, you get what you sow, you reap. So if you have been doing good and the judgment time comes, like you say, you will prosper. Whatsoever you do shall prosper. But the ungodly, when that sun comes, that judgment comes, that situation comes, they are like what the Bible says, the chaff which the wind blowed away. They don't have any root. They don't have anything to stand on because they never trusted in God. They get blew away by the wind. And what's funny, ask yourself, yes, it's talk about which the wind drive away. What is the wind? What wind? What is the wind? What wind are we talking about? The wind that blows? The tornado, the hurricane, the storms? No. It's a spiritual wind. It's a wind that comes to test. The devil, the Bible says the devil is like a roaming lion, seeking whom he may devour. Yeah. The devil is very subtle. He will just observe you every day, every night, see how you're doing, how you're living. All right? But when he's ready to attack, if you don't have that God who's defending you, you get blown away by him. There's nothing to grow on you. God does. You out of God protection, that wind takes you over. That wind that God is trying to protect you from. But you got to trust in God. All right? You're here. You're hearing my voice. It's for a reason. This is not coincidence. I'm speaking to you because you got to trust in God. There's a wind coming. There is a wind coming. There's a judgment coming. That's why it says, but are like the chaff which the wind drives away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment. It's a matter of time. Life is a cycle. It comes and goes. You need to be ready. Now is your time to get to know God before it's too late. Get to know God, because God wants to keep you like that tree. All right. For sinners shall not stand. Let me read back that. Sorry. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. Of course, what God is saying here, the sinners won't be mixed with the righteous, and that's what I'm saying. There's a clear separation. When you choose where you want to be, you cannot expect that you're going to be standing with the righteous. That's why you have to make up your mind. You cannot deceive God. You only deceive yourself. So it's important to have a fear. When I say fear, a just expectation of what you sow, you're going to reap. Be honest with yourself. You cannot sow a apple seed and expect to get a orange tree. What you sow, you will reap. If you're not sowing in righteousness, meditating in the laws of God, sowing in what God likes, you cannot expect to reap all of His blessings. God is merciful. Yes, the Bible says God bless the just and the unjust, because that's what a father does. A father, he loves his kids, no matter if they do right or wrong. He will always do his best to take care of them, guide them. But there comes a moment where this is how far it goes. He will try to always put you on track, but there comes a moment when you rebel and you decide you don't need God. That's how far it goes. You decide. God did not decide. You decide to separate. So you have to understand, the decision you make is your consequence. But now that you have your in me, you have life, you can change that. It's not too late. You can say sorry, repent, change your ways, depart from evil. That's why the scripture that I read in what was it? Proverbs says, depart from evil. That means that if the instruction is depart from evil, means that I was standing in evil as well. I mean, you were standing or is standing. So the instruction is for those who have ears, those who are still alive, those who have the opportunity still to depart. He says to them, depart from evil. Because there will come a time there will be no more opportunity. Whatever decision you make, you will live with that for eternity. So now is your time to depart from evil. That's how merciful God is. God is not the God that will let you go, even though it's your free will. He still wants to bless you, and He still wants to give you advice. Will you hear Him today? All right? For the Lord knows the ways of the righteous, but the ways of the ungodly shall perish. God knows all things. All right? That's basically what He's saying there. He knows the ways of the righteous. So if you know the ways of the righteous, you also know the ways of the unrighteous. Simple as that. All right? If you know 1 + 1 is 2, of course you know 1 + 2 doesn't make 2. Simple as that. If you know 1 + 1 is 2, of course you know only 1 + 1 make 2. So if you come with 1 + 3, 4, and you try to say that's 2, you can't fool me anymore, because I've learned that one. So that's what God is saying. When you learn, you know what's righteous, you know what's unrighteous as well. So don't fool yourself. You have a heart, you have emotions. Now is the time for us, for me. I'm speaking to me as well, to depart from evil. Now, depart from evil, it's in different levels. It's probably in the way I speak. I remember when I was young, I used to cuss a lot of bad words, because of the culture. I'm from the Caribbean, and, the Jamaican slang, and how we go, we talk and thing, I'm from St. Martin, so I got that accent as well. So, yeah, we cuss a lot, we cuss a lot of bad words and stuff, and every year you see it in the movies and so forth. I'm not going to cuss to prove anything, but what I'm trying to say, it came a point of a time that I was, like my culture, I raised in the culture, so I started to speak like them, live like them, wanted to look like them, to a point that I felt in me, I don't like this identity. That's not me. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel good. I don't like to lie, steal, And then it was a process. It's not in one day, but like I said, God sees the intention. Once your intention is good, He will help you along the way. It might take 1 day, it might take 10 years, it might take 2 days, it might take 4 months. Keep on the path. No matter how much time you fall, keep getting up, keep trying. So when I was young, I used to cuss a lot of bad words, and one of the ways I I learned to get over it or to change the way I speak, to speak more lively and speak good, was to change the word. Because a habit, you remember, when you first say something, it begins with a thought. Then you say it becomes an action. Then you keep saying it, it becomes a habit. And when that habit is something that repeats itself over and over, it shapes your character. It shapes your personality. So it's something that has been rooted in you over time. And to get rid of it, you need to break the stronghold and uproot it. And uprooting takes time as well. You know, you never see someone pulling up a big tree out of one go. They probably need to get some good equipment to get that tree up. And even though they get the tree up, sometimes the roots is so deep that it leaves some roots in the ground. And it will take some time for that root to die. And if you don't pull it up good, sometimes the root can make the tree or make up what he said, help the, well, let me rewind because I'm saying a lot of words in my mind. If the tree has been pulled up but the root still has life, sometimes the root can grow again. So you have to be sure that root is dead. So what I'm trying to say by all of this is that you took time to become who you are. You know, good habits, bad habits. It takes time as well to uproot it, to change your mindset, your mentality. So what I did to stop cussing bad word, I changed the word. You know, we used to say the F word, so I changed it. We changed it. I said, me and my friend at the time, we changed it to just a different word like flesh, you know, of fleck. Why we did that is to change the habit. And bit by bit, by changing that habit, it was no longer needed as well to say flesh, because that was like just a way to disarm that old mindset. So these are tips and tricks. There's a lot of things, you know. So depart from evil means that, you know, you need to examine yourself in every areas of your life, because in different areas we need to depart from evil. Probably we like to watch certain things, and that's not good. We need to stop watching it. Probably we need to stop reading certain things. Probably we need to stop saying certain things. Probably we need to stop doing certain things. So whatever is evil in your life, you have to get rid of it. You know, it's not easy, but with God, all things are possible. So you ask Him for that help. So remember, it's about trusting God. This message, it's deep, it's hard, because I want you to get to that point where when you trust God, you get His full blessing. That's what it's all about. It's all about how do you get the full blessing of God in this time that we're living in, with everything that's happening. We need to trust God. With every distraction that tries to pull us away, try to go the other way, we need to trust God. We need to know who is God, who He is to us. What does God like and don't like? Build that relationship. When you build that relationship in different situations, you get to see who God is, how He works. Your trust gets bigger and bigger with Him. And the more and more you trust Him, the more and more it's easy to depart from evil. The more and more you see how beautiful, how much He loves you, how much He takes His time with you, the more and more it's easy to understand His law, to think, to study them, to enjoy His law. And that's the big picture about trusting in God. Trusting in God is not just a word we say. In God we trust. No, it goes deeper. We live, we rely. Our life depends on God. My life depends on God. I trust Him that He will wake me up, that He will take care of my kids. He will bring them out, bring them in, that He will bring me out, bring me in, that He will keep me in good health, that He would, you know, that's the kind of trust. Even when I don't see things going the way I would like it to go, I can trust God. I don't need to run to any other gods or witchcraft, or no, I can trust my God. Even though things don't go the way I think, I can trust my God. You know why? Him say He'll never leave me lonely. Watch over me. Watch over. Yeah, man. Bless it. So yes, I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes of a time. If you have any question, do drop it in the chat. Remember to share, to like, and let me know what you think. You know, if you agree, you disagree. If you have any other takes, yeah, freely receive, freely I give. I'm just sharing what the Lord has poured into me. I'm pouring it back out, and it's free. I'm sharing that with you. So be blessed. I'm going to take a quick quick break, drink my coffee, and get back to you guys. So, you have any questions, anything you want to drop in the chat, do. And remember, trust in God no matter what. All right. So, I'm going to get the song ready. Let me see how everything is looking here. Yeah. Okay. So, we are ready to go. Let me just get the music ready, people. Bear with me. Take my sound system. There we go. I trust God that my sound system will work. All right. Yes. Somebody said yeah. All right, people, you ready? All right. Let's do
yeah.
Okay, them said I'm ready. All right, so I'm gonna run the tune. This one named "Watch Over Me," and it's taken from my album Salvation. I played it in the beginning, but I really love it because God said He will always watch over us. Watch over you, watch over me, watch over my family, my friends. So be blessed, and here we go.
It's me again. Tell them for them. Oh, Jesus Christ. Almighty Father, you always treat me good. You always treat me like a son. And you say you will never leave me comfortless. You promise that. You say you never leave me lonely. Watch over me, watch over me. Lord, you want the best, yes, I know that you're there for me. Watch over me, watch over me. Thank you, Lord, you watch over me daily. Watch over me, watch over me. I love the way you care and you watch over me. Watch over me, watch over me, adore me, ask me, no want to end up moving too fast. Watch over me, guide me on my daily task. Me want to do better than me did in the past.
Well, I just can't believe what I'm hearing.
Now you're no mask. Now pretend like me cool when me last. Watch over me, guide me on your green grass. You never treat I like no outcast. You say you never leave me lonely. Lord, you want the best, yes, I know that you're there for me. Thank you, Lord, you watch over me daily. Watch over me, watch over me. I love the way you care and you watch over me. Watch over me, watch. In all the valley, well, me know you're really daring. And through your nice love, you keep me persevering. In all my storm, are you bring the clearing? It's not by sight, so me let you do this daring. Sweet and caring, you always bearing. You teach me to live and stop with the fearing. So I'm declaring and I'll be sharing a good place.
Well,
I know you're preparing. You never leave.
Thanks and praise for your blessings and your lessons. Jesus Christ. Yeah, man.
Me nah worry myself. Trouble now make I melt. So I sing again. Me nah worry myself. Trouble now make I melt. Again. Me nah worry myself. Trouble now make I melt. So I sing again. Me nah worry myself. Trouble now make I melt. So, Jah make me bold, Jah make me tough, man no soft. Jah make me smart, Jah make me wise, Jah make me smart. Him no need to say too much when him dey a talk. Me trust the Lord, so when him say go, man I walk. Cause trouble may bubble up my mind but not my heart. Me cast down all them foolish thoughts. All my chaos, me check them with Jah. So me do what me can and let Jah do him part. So me nah worry too much. From the Lord no move, tell me nah go rush. Me no fear no man and me no fear no virus. Cause the Lord am my shepherd, so my head them can't touch. Tell them me nah, me them can't crash. Me nah worry, Jah give me the focus. Me nah, me for me purpose. One thing I know, I can trust Jesus. Me nah worry myself. Trouble now make I melt. So I sing again. Me nah worry myself.
Yes, this one is called Nah Worry Myself from my latest album Salvation. Get it on iTunes, Amazon. You don't know we do it, alright? Here we go again. Boom. I love this one.
Preach on my practice, like John the Baptist. Cool and relax like a cactus. Jah in control and them got this. Me trust the pilot in the cockpit. And did you notice, me respond my list, I'm not hopeless. Who me serve the same God that bless the man Joseph. Who my God is, I am that I am him tell Moses. That's why me sing, the Lord is greater, none something. So me nah worry myself, me say the Lord is greater than something. So trouble now make me say the Lord is greater. greater than something. So me not worry myself. Me say the Lord is greater than something. Trouble no make no vex me not worry myself.
Yes, so that's it. Me not worry myself. So that's what it's about. When you trust in God, you can sing me nah worry myself. Trouble nah make I melt. Me sing again, say me nah worry myself. Trouble nah make I melt. Yeah, man. So that was it there. Trusting in God. Again, if you want to get that latest album, Salvation, do check out iTunes or drop me a comment. And then you might be a lucky one to get a free album from me. You might be blessed today. All right. So I want to just encourage you guys once more. Keep trusting in God no matter what you go through. And remember that you are blessed and God got your back. So you don't have to worry once you put your trust in the right place. Keep trusting in God. All right. So let me just look at the chat. All right. I see I have no comments, no questions, but that's okay. I trust that you guys have been blessed. And I just say, stay tuned, and I will be doing some more live. And if you would like any specific topics or questions during if something comes up, you want me to answer that, do reach out to me. Remember, I don't bite. I have a gentle heart. I might say boom. I might be like, because that's just the hardcore side of me. But I have a gentle heart. You know how we do it, all right? Be blessed. Love you guys. I'm going to leave you guys with one more song before I go. I hope you enjoy the session. On my side, it's nighttime, so I need to go get myself ready to do probably some workout. But, love you guys. So I want you guys to be blessed with one more song. And this song, especially from my heart to your heart. And it's called Not an Option. And basically what I'm saying, giving up is not an option. All right, so you be blessed. You enjoy this one, and I'm out. Love you guys. All right, here we go.
Warrior, that I use. I'm a warrior. Perseverance is a gift from the Most High. Just keep the faith up, no matter what you're going through right now. Yeah, man, because I'm a warrior as well, I'm a warrior. So the warrior here to encourage other warriors.
Man a warrior, man a fighter. Me tell them giving up is not an option. Me tell them again, man a believer. Jesus I'm a savior, so giving up is not an option.
I'm a warrior.
Man a warrior, man a fighter. Me tell them giving up is not an option. Me tell them again, man a believer. Jesus I'm a savior, so giving up is not an option. Victory, it is written in your role. You got to stand firm and you got to stand bold. To all the warrior, me beg you to just step on patrol. Jesus Christ is great and him got the control. I know sometimes you may feel down and you're cold, but figure a little it, me say don't give up your soul. Focus on the prize, focus on the goal, cause giving up is not written in just ground.